From beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, and the National Association of Broadcasters Conference, welcome to an exclusive podcast on an article published in the Radio and Television Business Report in 2017 called Deal Killers. What are they and how to avoid them? My name is Adam Jacobson. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Radio and Television Business Report, and with me are the authors of this article, Doug Ferber, CEO of DEFcom Advisors based in Dallas. He's a media broker, and with him is Erwin Krasnow, well-known partner with Garvey, Schubert, Bearer. Also with us in this roundtable discussion are the operating partners of community broadcasters. We have Bruce Mittman, Jim Leven, and Peter Henderson, the controller. Their company owns and operates 46 radio stations in 8 markets. Hello, gentlemen. It's great to have you all here in beautiful Las Vegas for this conference.
I have a comment before we go any further.
Yes.
This is a roundtable discussion without a roundtable.
With no roundtable, because we have David Copperfield setting this room up for us. It's a wonderful thing to be in
Thank you for
Vegas.
bringing that out.
And we're meeting at we're meeting at an NAB convention where NAB stands for nothing about broadcasting. If you look at the program,
and we have 6 men in
I'm
one
not
hotel
going to
room.
make any.
I'm not.
That's the real problem.
I'm not going to say anything about that. But I will say that we are up to deal killer number 3, and it is unclear post-closing goals. Now, many sellers underestimate how much they will need in terms of cash post-exit, and at the same time overestimate the company's value. Without this information, you're not planning but wishing and hoping. So, Doug, take it away on this important deal.
You know, when I talk to my clients, I make sure that they consult their CPA and their tax attorney and really figure out, you know, what they will end up with after the sale. And is that enough for you? Because a lot of guys get to the altar with a deal only to have their financial consultant tell them that they're going to, you know, potentially owe money after the deal closes. So it's really important because a lot of times it's the biggest financial event that's going to happen in their lives, and their retirement is dependent on it. And if they're not going to come away with enough money, they might as well stay in business.
You know, we're a little bit different. I mean, we're pretty disciplined buyers, and so you know, we build in our projections, we build in the cash needs, we build in, you know, we pretty much know what we can afford. But there are a lot of different people that are we're buying from that have very different strategies. Some are exiting the business, and so this is their last big deal, and they, to your point, really need to know that this is going to make sense for them on a retirement basis. Others are changing marketplaces, want to kind of flip properties to you because they're looking at another deal and they need to recapitalize their company on a certain level, and this allows them to both recapitalize, get some cash, add another market. So, you know, everybody's got different goals and objectives. On an individual basis, you know, I agree with you. You know, you better have a financial advisor because there's going to be a tax implication, and there's going to be a you know, an understanding. Better be an understanding of what that means to you on a personal level.
Yeah, I guess I find it hard to believe that people don't do that, but I suspect since this is a topic, both of you have seen this in the past. You know, and that is part of the discipline, both on the buy and the sell side. As a buyer, you better have enough money to buy the new piece of equipment, to keep the place running for 6 months.
Working capital.
Right, to give the key employee that we talked about in a different podcast, you know, the money that he or she needs to keep he or she happy, you know. And on the sell side, if you have a large asset, one would think that you'd be consulting with your financial advisors, you know, whether it's for estate planning purposes or simply depending on what you're doing next. As Bruce was saying, if you're getting out of the business and this is your last hurrah, you probably want to know that you can pay the rent for the next 20 years.
You know, Jim, you're far more sophisticated than a lot of guys out there. And you would be shocked at how many people don't plan like this. And they know that they want to get out, but they don't it's the last thing that they think about. Oh, I'm a C corp,
Right.
you know, and which
A
is
a lot of them are getting out because they have to too.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, they radio at a point, if you're not operating effectively, can eat a lot of cash really fast. So a lot of these individuals that we've run into are getting out as fast as they can, and so they're thinking, close the deal now, stop maybe bleeding, or stop minimal returns, and so that's guiding a lot of their thinking.
Yeah, and if you're getting in, if you're trying to buy, and you're not a broadcaster to begin with, to Bruce's point, it's inconceivable to most people how quickly you can hemorrhage money with a broadcast property. And I haven't done anything else, so perhaps I'm a little jaundiced in the way I look at it, but it seems to me that given the intangible nature of all the assets and the fact that human resources really are almost more important to media than any other industry, you better have a good plan solidly conceived up front.
If you're the buyer, it might be wise to try to get a handle on the seller's post-closing goals, because then you can negotiate a deal with some sensitivity as to what the needs are.
Right.
And maybe
of
get
the
a better
seller.
deal for yourself as well.
Right, but you have to do that at the
at the
negotiation.
at the upfront point.
Right.
Exactly right.
Well, we've been in one of those actually,
Yeah.
I think, and we're friends with
Right.
this particular
Right. We had a
seller.
deal where the person leaving was really sort of a structured bankruptcy in essence, but the seller really was losing out, and the two of us worked a plan to make sure he walked away with something that he could manage his life with, which allowed us to get the deal done.
Yeah, he was an employee of ours for a
Yes.
year.
And,
Whether
and-
he worked
and-
for us
and
or
we
not,
gave
we
him a
paid him.
payout, and that allowed him to do an unstructured bankruptcy instead of us having to go to court and maybe not being able to get that deal done. So, that's the kind of creativity I think you need to bring to the table if you want to get a deal done.
And there are people who are exiting, also to Bruce's point, because they have to, whether they're going bankrupt or their investor is tired of what they're doing, or they're in TD or whatever, and they need to exit, and they need to exit now. And it behooves you as a buyer to understand the position that they find themselves in, hopefully with a little empathy, and it makes the deal go much better for both sides, so that it's a win-win.
That covers Deal Killer number 3. I want to thank you, and stay tuned for Deal Killer number 4 as we continue this podcast series from Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Adam R. Jacobson with the Radio and Television Business Report. Thank you. Have a great day.